welcome to the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast. I'm Ruth and I love to knit. You're so welcome here today. It is Wednesday the 20th of November 2024 and I'm coming to you as always from Devon in the southwest of England, where I live with my husband, our 2 teenagers and our 2 dogs. And as always, British podcasters have to talk about the weather. And it has taken a turn here, not as bad as some places in England that have had quite heavy, and Scotland that have had quite heavy snow. We had a really thick frost this morning, which is really the first, I think, this year. We put the heating on for the first time this morning, not bad, on the 20th of November, for the kids going out to school. I didn't want to get out from under their cosy duvets, neither did I. But it's sweater weather. Yay! I've got my sweater weather mug with some bonfire chai tea from Bird and Blend, bonfire something. Yeah, it's very lovely to keep me cozy now that the heating's back off. And as I look out my craft room window, it's still quite foggy. So just get cozy with me if you're in the southern part of the world. Maybe you're dying in the heat, I don't know, but certainly in this part of the world it's starting to get very winter-like. The leaves have all fallen off the trees, the golden copper leaves are all on the ground, and we're definitely heading into winter. So lots to talk about. I always think, oh, I'm going to have a shorter episode. It's probably not going to happen because I haven't podcast properly for nearly a month. I did a little podcast there about 2 weeks ago on the yarn show that I went to. I'm now up and mobile again after breaking my foot, and albeit with a limp. So my 6 weeks of non-stop knitting has come to an end, but I have a lot to show you and a lot to talk about. Where can you find me? As always, I'm Ruth Loves to Knit podcast on Instagram. I am Ruth Loves to Knit on Ravelry. And we have an email for this podcast, which is ruthlovestoknit@gmail.com. I'm sorry, I'm sitting on my rocking chair. If I'm moving and it's annoying you, I do apologise. But it'll keep happening. Thank you for all the lovely comments, messages, emails you've been sending me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for voting on some patterns that I wanted to cast on in colours and which pattern. We'll talk about that a wee bit later on. And I have notes here, so I'll just look at them in case I get carried away. I'll take another slug of this. Put it down, probably not to knock it over. As you know, we've been doing a year-long knit-along. My brain is not in gear this morning. I didn't sleep very well last night, as you'll find out. I had some during the night knitting. You'll talk about that in a wee minute or two as well. Lots of M's as always. If this is your first time here, you are very welcome, but this is not a professional podcast. It's a chatty podcast. It's a yarn-filled podcast. It's a knitting-filled podcast, but professional it is not. We've been doing the year-long knit-along and the T&P year 24. I think I said it wrong in my last podcast, but T&P, hashtag T&P year 24. Now, Instagram is doing something in December with their hashtags, but I think we're still okay. If you have knit anything from Twinset Purl, any of their patterns through the year, get it onto the hashtag or send me an email. I've had a lot of emails. I'm probably into about 25 emails now, and you'll be put into an end of year bonanza giveaway. Now, I was going to just do a pattern giveaway this time, but I have been sent so many lovely things. I just thought, you know what's not right? I need to do another real life giveaway, tangible giveaway. So I've decided to do another proper giveaway, and I'll show you that now, because no point waiting for later on. Maybe some of you are only here for this. And it's this box, and I will try and keep it in this box because it's perfect for posting. And this box was kindly sent to me by a lovely viewer, beautifully wrapped, and I don't have enough room on here. Might be a lot of fizzling today because I have a few plastic bags. I'll just warn you, fizzling and rustling. So what came? Now I've added one wee thing to it. And it's from Sewing Room Secrets. I think it's Natalie. She sent me a lovely wee card. And she said I could either keep it or give it away, but I have no right to keep anything that's gifted to this podcast. It is Natalie, Sewing Room Secrets. She is on Etsy and Instagram as Sewing Room Secrets. Let me just check, definitely. Yep, Sewing Room Secrets. I'll put all the details in the description, but beautiful. I love it when everything comes all nice. And she sent me a beautiful wee card. And watches the podcast, so sent me some of the bits, and I am going to pass them on to you. So what she sent was this beautiful stitch marker with a wee pot of tea. Hope the lighting's not too bad today. It's quite sunny outside now. She sent a cozy yarn cozy, handmade with love. A little, oh, this would be perfect for this time of year, a little tea bag. Chamomile, manuka honey and cinnamon. Oh, did I have to give that away? That's right up my street. It's from Sainsbury's. So if you're not in this country, you'll get a wee treat. And this beautiful Woman of Hands. This absolutely gorgeous bag. Now, she does have these in her Etsy shop, so do go, and I mean, it's just beautiful. It's like a canvas. It has a box bottom and a handle, and it's drawstring, but I'll not draw it over because it's nice and flat in the box. And then she also sent, let me get this all back in, a beautiful pom-pom. Now, I'm not a pom-pom person or a tassel person or a fringe person, but this soft, I mean, you can see the softness of that. It's a wee bit darker than that. And I thought, well, a giveaway isn't a giveaway without some yarn. So I have picked a skein out of my stash, and I thought this would go. Let me find the bits that I thought would go. This is Hedgerow Yarns, and it's just got very subtle bits of this in it. I thought that would be a beautiful hat. It is called Shabby Wedding. It's cozy DK, 80% merino nylon, 80% merino, 20% nylon, and it's 243 meters. So I'll definitely knit a gorgeous hat, or you can just use socks and use this for something else. So I'm going to include that in the prize, but just to let you know that I will be unskeening this so I can send it in this box, but I'm sure you can sort that out when it gets your length. So a bag and all sorts of things, really lovely prize, going to a winner today that I have really randomly picked, and it'll come to you. I'll wrap the actual box, but I'm going to post it in that, so I'm sorry, I will unskein the skein because it doesn't fit. And the winner, let me just put this down out of the way, is K.Archer. I'll put it on the screen. K.Archer 2. And she knit one of my absolute all-time favourites. She knit a Simon shawl. I was absolutely randomly picked. And congratulations, Kay. If you can get in touch with me, either on Instagram or by email, all I need is your address. I don't need anything, any payment, nothing. I won't contact you. You have to contact me, and hopefully she'll do that soon. But if she doesn't, we'll pick another giveaway. I've said the word giveaway so many times. The bots will be all over me, but never mind. So thank you very, very much for entering. I think that's probably it now till the biggie at the end of the year, and I have got a lovely prize for the end of the year. I have some of it's from my own stash, some of it's been given, but it'll be well worth you either emailing me with your finished object or putting it in the hashtag. And as I always say, if you don't see it, go over and check it's there. If you don't see it's there, then tag me, Ruthlovestoknit podcast as well. And if all else fails, just email me if you're really unsure. And I have all those names. I have it all very, I want to say it's all on a spreadsheet. It's not. It's all written down on a piece of paper. And I will, it'll all become one, and Miss You-Know-Who in the corner will pick a winner, and you'll get a lovely wee pick-me-up treat in January when it all finishes. So congratulations, Kay. Also, thank you very much to those who have shopped my D-stash. There's still a lot of stuff there. Ruthlovestoknit D-stash on Instagram if you want to go over. If you want to go over and check that out. I have said it's only for the UK, but if you really desperately want something from some other place, I'm sure we can arrange it. There's some lovely stuff. There's even a doodle deck pack. It just wasn't for me when I got it. I want to send, and I've vastly reduced the prices on everything. There's some woolly mammoth. There's some, I don't think what else, cascade. There's lots of different things. It might be worth your while going and checking that out. I'd really appreciate getting that cleared out of my of my place, my house, my craft room, and I send it as soon as possible once it's paid for. And I only take PayPal payments, but 10% of anything I sell goes to Lamb Hospital in Bangladesh. Okay, enough. 10 minutes, that's really good. Chatty one as always. Anyway, let's get on to what you're here for, the FOs and the whips. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 FOs. But don't get too excited. Most of them are small. As I said, because I broke my foot, I was pretty stationary. But also, I've had several quite long car sits waiting for my kids now that I can drive again. Saturday, I took them to Plymouth to Comic-Con, and it was nearly 4 hours. So I had lots of knitting to the point where my shoulders hurt, and actually had to rip some of it back. But anyway, so first one. You had already finished the first one of these last time, and I think I'd already started the second one, and they are the copper conifer socks. That's coming up brighter than the colour really is, but you can definitely see the pattern on them, can't you? And these are by Twinset Purl. These are my November Twinset Purl. I think I've managed to have something, if not several things of Twinset Purl. I must count how many I've done by the end of the year on the needles every month. So I've kept up with my cal, even if nobody else has. I've got 2. Now, if you remember, can't even see where. Yeah, that's the oopsie one. You see, it just went off a wee bit. I think it was because I had, I didn't look at the pattern. That's the truth of it. I didn't look at the pattern. And you have to move over a stitch slightly. Did it in this one. These are the good ones. I'll show you these ones. Absolutely gorgeous pattern. And all, to be honest, if you look at the pattern picture, you will never know that they're as beautiful as that. That's the pattern picture. I actually thought it was just eyelets. But these are the beauties that are actually the copper conifer socks by Twinset Purl. And they literally, like so many of Jo's patterns, they knit themselves. It's like, I suppose, like knitting stripes. Just wanted to go on to the next one, And this yarn is Yarnsmiths. Commercial yarn, but the softest and nicest to wear. And my daughter I've knit several pairs of socks for my daughter in this, and they seem to really be holding up well. So we're all raving about this yarn, all podcasters. And I still rave about it. I think it's great, and as far as I know, it's still on sale. It's nearly half price on Wool Warehouse. It's their own. So if you're looking for a pair of a new cast on Christmas presents, these knit up so quickly, and it's the copper conifer socks by Twinset Purl. So that's number 1. Now where to put these? Then the second, 2 are one I had basically finished last time as well. So, and they are my mindfulness shawls. If you're a long time viewer, you know I love the mindfulness shawl. It is my equivalent of socks. So, I can do it without even looking at the pattern now. And it is written for a DK. It's not on Ravelry. You have to go to Heike Gittens, Heike Gittens Designs. I'll put it all down below, or just Google the mindfulness shawl and it comes up on Google. And she's on PayHip. She isn't on. It is on Ravelry, but you can't pay for it on Ravelry. And this is the first one I've done. Oh, maybe goes with this, does it? Just a lovely wee one skein winter warmer. But I've done most of mine recently in fingering, and as I said, there's no scientific things behind it. I just cast on with like a 3.5. If I don't like the fabric, I go up to a 3.75. I've never had to go down to a 3.25, and this is what I have left of this Ruby and Roses yarn. I got it in a D-stash, or not a D-stash, a swap from Canada. And it's called the Princess Tail, and there was 400 yards in this, so less than 400 meters, and that's what I have left. It has little picot, so it does take a bit of yarn for the picot, but I have never run out, and that's a short, well, to my mind, that's a shorter skein. Beautiful to work with, that yarn. I've never used it before, and yeah, just perfect. I wear these a lot in the house. I hate having my neck cold, and again, I have one of these. Did I bring it? Yes, I did. I have one of these in my bag, my handbag, instead of socks, because I have completely lost my sock mojo. Did well. I got to November this year before losing it, and it's just beautiful yarn. Really gorgeous. So if you have one of those special skeins that you don't know what to do with and too good for socks or whatever, I would recommend this. It's squishy, it's garter, it's so simple to follow, and I love it. And the second one I cast on and cast off since I've last seen you is this beauty. No, it's not going to show well. It's not going to show well. It's starting to rain. Well, no, it's not starting to rain, but it's gone really grey. I think that is okay. And this is was gifted to me as well. I am spoiled. This is Hue Loco yarn in spun sock. It's one of a kind. It is singles, merino, cashmere, nylon, fingering weight. Again, it's a short skein as well, 400 yards. And it was gifted to me by Sam and Danny from Woolly Adventures. I met up with them a few years ago. I've got 40 grams left. I could have knit bigger. You can go on and knit as big as you want. But I thought that would be beautiful in another project that I have my eye on. So I just finished when I did the correct amount of, oh, it just brings a wee bit of colour to, you know, an outfit. I even got that one the right way. And the picot just takes away the plainness of it. Gorgeous with cashmere in it, thank you very much. So those were, one was from a swap and one was from a gift. So can't complain about that. So that's 2 mindfulness shawls and 1 on the floor. And those are for me. I know I give away, I've probably knit 20 of these things now, and I've given the majority of them away, but these are definitely staying with me. Excuse me as I retrieve this off the floor. Then, what's next? This next one might be one of my favourite knits this year. That's a big claim, isn't it? I hope this lighting's okay. It feels like it's gone very dark. This is my Back to Richill. I had gone quite a bit done of this last time I spoke to you too. It is Back to Richill by Brenda Brayfield. You know I talk about Brenda a lot. She names all her patterns after places in Northern Ireland where her family's originally from and I am originally from. I just absolutely love it. I've not disliked any of the patterns that she's designed, but this one, don't know what it was about it, whether it was the yarn and the pattern combined or what, but I love it. And not my usual colours. Look at that. Would that do for thumbnail? Every podcaster's nightmare. It is gorgeous. It's Nellie and Eve. It blocked beautifully. Now, she doesn't say to do that. I used the pink just as a wee accent. She doesn't say that's not in the pattern. I just did that myself. Look at the detail. But it is the simplest. She writes out every line. She charts things too, but she writes out every line so you can tick it off as you've done it. This isn't blowing out. It is just, and it is big, but it's light as a feather in the yarn that I did it in. It's fingering weight. I'll show you the yarn in a minute. I've already shown you in preview. And I did a little reel on Instagram to show you the difference between before it was blocked and now. And it's night and day. Absolutely night and day. I mean, look. Those were all scrunched up and they've just come out and they drape on this yarn. If you ever get the chance to get some Nellie and Eve. Now, it's not a cheap yarn, but it's a quality yarn and it's all botanically dyed. It's all locally sourced. I know Joe from Twinset Purl. Did I say Joe for those socks? Those are from Richill. I do apologise. Richill is the sock designer. Joe is designing a shawl at the moment in this Camellia. And I've shown you it before, but I'll show you it again because it's worth showing you. And it is Nellie and Eve. She is a Welsh. Yeah, she lives in Wales. Nellie and Eve. She just did a shop update there the other day and she has both of these colours in. Oh, actually, I don't know if she has I don't know if she has this one, but she's got a teal, which I think would go beautifully with it. It's single farm BFL. BFL is probably my favourite yarn. 100% BFL, 440 meters, and it's Camellia. So the pink is Camellia, and the blue-ish is Bird's Egg #1. So obviously she botanically dyes, so there's probably always going to look a bit different when you get it. That's showing up pretty accurately to what, that is gorgeous. It's so nice around my neck. It's woolly, but there's no sharpness to it. You could easily wear it around you. Well, I could easily wear it around my neck. Sheep to skein in under 25 miles of my studio in West Wales, UK. So, treat. Absolute. It was a treat yarn, but and I've had it for quite a while, not knowing what I was going to do with it, and I found the perfect project. I'm thrilled to bits with it. So well done, Brenda. She has one called That's Belfast, so that might be next on my needles. And she's got Dungannon. I remember I did Antrim. She had Ballyclare, which she named after the town that I'm from. Excuse me. I could knit them all. And she has a lovely pattern that she did in when lockdown, and I think it's called Better Together, Always Better Together, and I've knit 2 of those. So I am a big fan of Brenda Brayfield, and she makes really complicated patterns really simple. Really complicated looking patterns really simple. I might just keep this on. So that's back to Richill. Then another thing you haven't seen and is finished but not blocked. What's your opinion? Is something finished once it's off the needles, or is something finished when the ends are woven in and it's blocked? What's your opinion? I'm kind of when it's all ready to wear, but maybe you like to wear it when it's not blocked too, so it's up to you. It's getting very dark here. I'm just wondering, should I put on the other light? We'll keep going for now. A friend of mine, I gave her a girl who works in our mission, she lives up in Glasgow, and I knit her husband a jumper, if you remember, and I sent her a Simon shawl. It's like in a teal and grey, and she sent me a picture the other day of her wearing it, and she absolutely loves it. And of course I said, would you like it in another colour? And she jumped at the chance. Now this isn't blocked either. I didn't want to block any of these things because that would be hard to dry in time for the podcast. So I've knit another Simon shawl. This is her Simon shawl. This is what she wanted. She wanted like a neutral cream. She said sort of cream or taupe and grey. I thought we did it all right. It's not blocked, but it's still fantastic. I'm going to take this off to show you. I don't want to take it off. It's so lovely. Oh, excuse me. It will stretch. I'm going to stretch it out a wee bit, but it's just such a wearable shape. I just love it, and this particular one would go with absolutely everything. So it was her birthday day before last, but we didn't. But even at that, it would be perfect. But I think we could get a wee bit more length out of it. It was the yarns I used were one I had in the house and one I had to buy for it. So the one I had in the house was the grey, and they're both Arwetta Classic. It's getting darker. And this one, the grey, is colourway 955, and the creamy is called Marzipan, or at least the shop I bought it from calls it Marzipan. Again, this must be the older label. This is the newer label. Shows how long I've had it. A couple of years ago, I went and bought some sort of solid basic colours, you know, black, grey, white, creams, and have just been slowly using them, but I had to buy the cream for this. And this colourway, the Marzipan colourway, is 977, and I got these from knit.co.uk, the NKNITT, is it? They're always so quick with dispatch and delivery. And it's so soft. I think it's just merino nylon, is it? Let's see, what's the makeup of it? I wish it came in 100 grams. That's the only thing, because I would love to do a sweater in it, but I don't really fancy doing a sweater in 50 gram balls. It's from Denmark. Oh, there we go. 80% virgin wool, 20% nylon. So it's ideal for socks or anything. It is super soft, super soft. So I hope she likes it, and I maybe get that on the blocking today and the fan on it and get it. Yeah, because it's sort of curled at the bottom. Need to make it straight. If it was for me, to be honest, I would just leave it the way it is. But if you haven't knit a Simon, what have you been doing? Where have you been? And I highly recommend Highly, highly recommend. The next one I don't even have with me. I think I'm going to have to turn the overhead light on. Just bear with. Back. Sorry, yeah. Although it's shining off my grey hair, I do think it's better than the... It was just, I could just feel it getting gradually more and more dark. Sorry if it's shining off my glasses, but we're doing the best we can. So the next one I said I don't have it with me, and I will put a picture up here. A man in our church, really lovely man, he was at a meeting one night. He's bald, and he was at a meeting one night, and he had this, in my opinion, tatty old hat on. He said he had it for years, loves it, all the rest of it. He was walking to and from the meeting, so obviously, you know, bald head needs a bit of heat and insulation. So I thought, I'm going to knit him a hat. So I got a lovely kit from Hank's Yarn Parlour for the buffalo, is it Toque? I know Casey is Canadian, although lives in Northern Ireland. Hank's Yarn Parlour is in Northern Ireland. The buffalo Toque, and I got the kit for it. But when it came, I didn't really like the cream. Maybe for a woman, but I just felt for a man, and I wouldn't do the pom-pom. So 3 colours come with it. It all comes in a lovely gift bag, and the pattern as well. So if you were looking for a gift for somebody for Christmas, either you could knit it or buy it for them. And I decided to just do, so I have a full ball. It's Rosarios 4 bio wool. It's an iron weight, and it's as soft. This is colourway 42. What is the makeup of it? It's 100% organic wool, but obviously for a hat you need it to be soft, especially on a bald head. You don't want an itchy wool hat and a bald head. So I didn't use that, but I did use all of the black to the point where I had to go into the red. That's all I've got of the red left. And the black, the colourway was 19, still in the same wool. And the red, which is just a Christmas red, it's the perfect red, is colourway number 7. So that's from Hank's Yarn Parlour. Oh dear me. Hank's Yarn Parlour in Northern Ireland, in Belfast. So if you're over there, you can walk in and buy it probably. But if you're, I think she does worldwide shipping. And she's got some gorgeous Irish yarns, and it's all written out. It's obviously colour work, so it's charted, but very, very simple chart. I tried it on my husband, who's also bald, and he says that's too big. But we had a meeting in church a couple of Saturdays ago, and I took it in and I showed it to Andrew, and he put it on and has worn it since, but I think it's too big. So he could put it in a hot wash or something. I'm a bit embarrassed because I really do. It's far too big for him, but bless him, he's wearing it anyway. But that wool was lovely to knit with, and I would definitely make another one of those buffalo toques. If I'm saying that wrong, sorry. So the pattern is available on Ravelry, but I bought it with the set for him as a wee gift. So bless him, he's wearing it, but I think it's too big anyway. And last but not least, something that I had written in the whip pile. For the whip pile at 3 o'clock this morning became a finished object. Good old menopause kicked in, and I woke at 3 and could not get back to sleep. So I just thought, I'm going to use my time. Thankfully, I did get to sleep about 5:15, but I had to get the kids up at 7:15. So matchsticks, but anyway, I'm always okay at this time of the day, and then as about 3 o'clock comes, I start to fade, but we're fine. The colours probably aren't showing up true because I've turned all the lights on, but it's this, I finished this. This is a well-known pattern. I have a green dress underneath it, which doesn't really go with it, but I just pulled it on. This is the Felix sweater by Savoury Knitting. This is my 3rd Felix sweater, although one of them has bitten the dust because I knit it in a beautiful royal blue, cobalt blue, but it became so bally and I couldn't get it defluffed, so it's gone to the big charity shop in the sky. And my other one was knit in woolly knit, and it's like a rust colour. I love it, but it's such a useful throw-on sweater. I've also knit the Felix cardigan in West Yorkshire Spinners, and I wear that around the house all the time, but that's got really scruffy too, so I'll probably need to knit another one of those. And I finished this in the early hours. So I did it's not awfully size inclusive, I would say, but it would be very, very easy to work out how to add stitches, because it's in a, you know, I think it's a 6 or 8 stitch block to do these. So it wouldn't be that hard to work, and I'm not sure why she hasn't sort of put the sizes up by now, but I'm the size next to last, penultimate size is that, and I use less than, let me think, less than 1,000 meters of Aran wool. This is Sonas. I don't have any labels for it. I got this whenever I was over seeing my father-in-law 2 summers ago. I got it in Carlow. That's the nearest town to where my husband's from, and in just a wee wool shop, in a commercial wool shop. This was the only sort of woolly wool they had, and I got it in big 250 gram hanks, and I had 3 of them. I've still got a wee bit left. Might get, well, I might get a hat or something. No, more than a wee bit. I'd say there's 100 grams, at least over 100 grams there maybe. Maybe I don't know what I'll add it to, but there's a wee bit left anyway. I bought a greeny colour, but in hindsight it just didn't suit me, so I destashed that to a lovely lady in America. Thank you very much. I'll show you the pattern picture. It's a very well used pattern. After knitting 3 of them, you can see the line right through it, but you can see it's just a good workhorse throw on cozy sweater. It hasn't been blocked, I will reiterate again, so the sleeves need blocked out. I don't do decreases usually in the sleeves, and I haven't done this time. I just do a big, you know, decrease at the bottom, so they are quite blousy, but I really like them. And then it's just you know, a hem, ribbed hem, so it is rising up a wee bit because it's not blocked, but I mean, probably if you wore it long enough, just the sleeves I would definitely like to block. But in this weather, although now we've maybe put a bit of heating on, it would be hard to dry. It is coming up pretty good colour, even with this artificial lighting. It isn't a plain colour. There's lots of nappy bits, and can you see? I don't know. Anyway, it's beautiful, and I maybe have it on a few more times this winter to get the colours, maybe whenever it's like night out there. It was absolutely lovely to work with, although I do find my hands get sore on anything above DK. So I did, the reason I cast this on was because I'd asked you in the last podcast, I had cast off basically everything, and I wanted to cast on a Porty, either a cardigan or a sweater by Gudrun Johnston, and I asked folks what they thought, and more than the vast majority said cardigan, so I cast on a jumper. But while I was waiting, I can feel myself getting a bit warm now. The old internal sunshine is ramping up. While I was waiting to make the decision, I thought I just want something quick, something that's come off the needles quick. So I bulldozed through the body and then completely lost it on the arms. But Aran weight arms going, I mean, I did an arm in a night, you know, it's there. It's beautiful. It's just a wee bit different. It's not just a plain, but I do need to flatten down a few bits and get it a wee bit flatter for my liking anyway. So that's the Felix sweater, which was in the whip, first on the whips, but I actually finished it last night. So there you are. Is it a finished object if it's not blocked? But I am wearing it, so, you know. So talking of voting and giving me your opinion, if you remember, I gave a whole load of my shawls away for charity, and I think I must have inadvertently given away my Kyler shawl, which is probably my favourite and most worn shawl. Excuse me. There's the rain on, although it looks like sleet. So, although the Simon shawl is fairly coming up the rear there and it might take over. And I had done the original one in a lovely, like, bluey grey, wore it, just went with everything, and it had a bit of silk in it, so it was just gorgeous. So my choices for this to re-knit it were a blue or a yellow, and the overwhelming majority said blue. So the blue I have is this gorgeous blue I got in a giveaway near enough de-stash. It was absolutely buttons. Is Shilasdair yarn. It's from the Isle of Skye, and it is the indigo colorway. It is, I'll tell you, I couldn't say it last time, I'll not be able to say it this time. Smooth.
No idea. And it is 50 grams, and it's 170 meters per 170 meters per 50 grams. British spun, hand dyed, plant dyes in the Isle of Skye. Can you tell I just really love the botanically dyed stuff? So it's from Shilasdair. They sometimes call themselves the Isle of Skye yarn, I think, as well. And that is the colour. That is exactly the colour. Beautiful. Really not a flat colour, lovely tonal. Remove it, there you go. And I have enough of them for the Kyler shawl, and the Kyler shawl is by, I need 6 more laps to be able to put this stuff on. The Kyler shawl is by Isabell Kraemer, one of my favourite dyers. This is it. And I knit on this on Saturday when I was waiting for the kids. Thought I was making great headway, watching everybody go by in their have to stop saying fancy dress, in their cosplay. My kids went as Doctor Who and Remy from Ratatouille. But I'll have to tell you, if you're my age, 52, or a bit older or a bit younger, maybe in the UK, you will remember Wurzel Gummidge. I was terrified by Aunt Sally and Wurzel Gummidge. See, the sleeves are a bit short, I need to block it. I was absolutely terrified. Who came in front of my car and stood and chatted for a good 10 minutes, but somebody dressed up as Wurzel Gummidge? I could feel it. I could feel the puppeting. They were there. They had this full mask on. You know, Wurzel Gummidge was on TV, and he was a scarecrow, and he used to change his heads. Was it depending on his mood? And Aunt Sally was the most frightening doll you've ever seen. And I think when we were watching, it was probably in black and white. I'm not that old, but I think it probably was. And I was terrified of him. I was terrified of Doctor Who as well. And honestly, so watching him standing right in front of my car, I had to come home and frog about 10 rows of my knitting. If I've triggered anybody, let me know. But if you grew up in the UK back in the 70s, 80s, oh, he was off. Oh, he was a scary boy. I didn't need any horror movies. Wurzel Gummidge was enough for me. I was trying to explain it to my kids, and they were just like, "Oh, for goodness sake, Mum, you're lost it," you know. So this is what I've done anyway. This is beautiful. Look at the lace detail. And we've just got into the stocking stitch. So this continues as is, and then the stocking stitch is where the increases are. And it's just gorgeous. But yeah, I'd done the first bit all right, but somehow I'd mucked up the whole bit here. And I've got a gorgeous wee Progress Keeper, wee sheep from Wild and Bear. And I have another one for a giveaway. So it's Wild and Bear. She's on Etsy, Wild and Bear Fibres. And look at this wee beauty. So that'll be going into a giveaway at some point. I bought these, but look at that wee face. I had named them Mabel and Tommy. That's my parents' names. But don't know if they'd appreciate that or not. But that's the one I'm keeping. I just think it's gorgeous. So that's as much as I've done of the Kyler shawl. I've definitely got it started. That'll be one that definitely needs blocked. I just work away at that. I do need to look at the pattern for the lace. You know, doesn't come naturally to me, but it's definitely one that can just be knit on while watching a podcast or something. And that's in my lovely redesigned project bag. Lovely smell of leather, always surprises me. Then the Porty sweater. I decided to do the Porty sweater. Now, I suppose you could call this, at one point you could have called this episode a little bit of everything, but I think I've done a good wee bit of everything, especially finishing this. That was great. Aaron just knits up so quick, but as I say, it did hurt my hands a bit, so I had to slow down. The Porty sweater is by, so there's a cardigan and a sweater from the Shetland Trader. That's beautiful Gudrun. I don't think she keeps her hair short these days. And I have exactly the colours that she had. I already had the main colour, and then I just added the small balls of the Shetland. I'm sorry about the lighting. I have to think about that more for future episodes. And so I had a cone of this, a wee bit darker than it's shown. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, from Jamieson and Smith. And then my little bag of goodies is not so pretty to look at anymore because I started the colour work. I'll put all of the colours that I've used in the description, but they're what is in the pattern. I'm knitting it as to pattern. And this is what I've done so far. I think it's gorgeous. Of course, it's on a small. I find colour work easier on a smaller needle. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, this is my needle stopper on the floor. Oh, I'm loving it. She does have, I bought, I think one of the yarns just slightly goes over. These are 25 gram balls, I'm sure, as you know. I think it's 125 meters per one. And one of them just goes slightly over. You see, can't remember which one it is. But she has put colour work on the sleeves, and if I don't have enough, I'll just leave the colour work off the sleeves or change. So she just has a slight wee bit of colour work on the sleeve, and I'll just not do the colour work on the sleeve if I run out. But I do find most designers leave a wee 10%, you know, gap. Let me just get my needle stopper in case the whole lot comes off. I'm gonna get in the Christmas mood with my wee gnomes, gonks. Slowly bringing in the Christmas bags. But I really want to get working on that this week and get that colour work done. I think it's going to be gorgeous because like I want to get wearing it. My floats aren't too bad. Quite neat. And I love working with Jamieson and Smith. It is rustic, but not... I don't think it's scratchy, but I'm maybe not the right person to ask. So the colours that I have done, I have used are, the main colour, that lovely rusty colour, is FC38. Then I've used FC47, just in case you don't want to go down and look at the notes. Then FC61, then FC43, then FC45, all from Jamieson and Smith. No, it's a great, it's 115 meters per 25 grams. Perfect for colour work because you don't have to buy a whole 100 gram skein. And I think very manageable. I think I got those for £3 something. I got the big skein in a sale. That's why I bought the big skein. And one of those colours is just like, I think it's 125 meters or something instead of, and it's just a bit over. So that's why I think if I run out of I didn't want to buy a whole other ball just for the sake of that. So if I run out, that's fine. But equally, if I run out, I can buy another ball at some other, my sort of localish yarn shop in Exeter sells them. So I can always go in and colour match in there. But with colour work, you've always got strands, haven't you? And that's in my gorgeous autumn bag from the Knitting Swan. She has a beautiful winter bag with holly on it, and she's just brought out coloured bags, like block colour bags. She gave me a massive discount on one, so there is one coming my way, but the discount she's given to my viewers is a one-off purchase. So add everything to your bag at the one time and use the code Ruth and you'll get 10% off. It basically means you'll get free shipping in the UK at least. She does do worldwide shipping and I recommend her bags. It's a massive bag. I've got a cone in there, my project, everything. Jumper size. She's got smaller ones too. Sorry, you're not getting the glare. That's the autumn bag. Beautifully quilted. And to give a 10% discount from a small business is massive. So if you're looking for something different for a knitting pal or for yourself, or as I do from my husband, look what you bought me, I would really recommend these. There's pockets inside, they're so well made, round bottom, can't say good enough things about them. And if you do buy one and you use the code Ruth, a little bit of commission comes to me, which I then give to Lamb. So it's a win-win situation. I give it to charity and it's absolutely a win-win situation. So go for it if you want one. Then I have another Simon shawl on the go. I have been taking part in the 30 minutes a day, knitting 30 minutes a day with Bone Cancer Research Trust, UK based charity. excuse me, thank you so much. Sorry, just take a wee sip. Thank you so much to everybody who's donated. I think everybody has been affected by charity at some point, and I certainly lost my cousin when he was far too young to cancer. So we try and support in any and all ways we can. And it's to knit 30 minutes a day. I put the link down below, absolutely no pressure, because obviously, you know, I've raised money for lots of different charities through the years. But I think you can give as little as £1. And you can give from international too, but I'll put the link down below. I've exceeded what my expectations, so there's no expectations on you, but it's actually killing me to just do 30 minutes a day on this. It's my Simon shawl. And I've branched into some of the wintry bags. It's definitely apt for today. I think that's a Jibby Rousseau's bag from I got a couple of years ago. Perfect shawl size. And definitely I love a seasonal bag. These little things amuse me. And just, I was putting it on Instagram every day, but I'm sure you all got fed up looking at it, so I haven't been. But just to prove that I've just been doing 30 minutes a day on it, and the progress you can make. So what is it, 20th? So this is 20 days project, including today. This is 20 days progress, and I've put, you can see my jewellery. Every half hour. Oh, look at that. That's a mistake. Look, you don't see it until look. Who cares? I don't care. I don't know what I've knit straight across there. I have looked at this every day for 20 days and I have never seen that. I don't care if it was for somebody else, I'd worry about it. I don't care for myself. Sorry, Joe. And I had cast this on with different yarn. I cast this on with lovely yarn from Birch Street yarn, but I changed my mind because I want to use it for something else. And this yarn I got from, look at that. This is the first time I haven't done an overtly like solid colour, and I think it's gorgeous. This yarn is from Frankie Grey Fibres, which is a Canadian dyer. If you watch the Grocery Girls, Jodie from the Grocery, no, isn't it Jodie? Yeah, from the Grocery Girls, and her daughter run this yarn company. And a few maybe months ago, they were doing free worldwide shipping, and they were giving away a bag, a tape measure, and free worldwide shipping. And with the exchange rate to Canada, I got 5 skeins of hand-dyed yarn for less than £50. So I couldn't resist, and it was a pack of 5, and the other 3 go really well together, so I'm going to use those together. But like free shipping to the UK from Canada, and it came really quick. And it was beautifully wrapped with all the extra freebies, and service was amazing, but I couldn't resist. I mean, like hand-dyed yarn for less than £10 a skein, and my wee custard cream progress keeper that lovely Joe and Rachel brought me from the Southern Wool show, I think. So this is so squishy, it's gorgeous. But as I say, it's killing me to only knit 30 minutes a day. I've finished all the increases, so I'm just on the body. It's only a 365 metre skein, so I've weighed my yarn, and once I get halfway, I'll start decreasing, and I am just loving it. I'll show you the balls. I can't. There's no colourway names because they were obviously doing a big clear out. I think that's why they were doing it. I could have bought so much, but that's the two I'm using, like a midnight blue and then that gorgeous speckle. Love it. So I think that'll be very wearable. I have an awful habit of knitting shawls that I just like the look of and then they don't go with anything. So I was overseeing Hannah and her mum and her sister yesterday, and so I walked in and said, nothing matches. I had my black coat on, but then I had a different kind of coloured shawl, different coloured sweater, all the rest of it. So anyway, so that's hopefully there'll be, once I start the decreases, I'll get a lot more done in 30 minutes. But it just shows you, even if you only knit 30 minutes a day, you can really progress through your projects. Okay, we're getting there. And then last dish, penultimate, is in my gorgeous bag from Crafty Clegg. She did have some more of these in her shop, but they go like the speed of light. I think I got this 2 years ago. Perfect for this weather. This is from High Street. No, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's in Somerset, and It's the ones she was selling were slightly different to this, but I just love this. And this is my husband's sock, but I have lost my sock mojo, so he may or may not get it for Christmas. I need to put it in my handbag probably, and then I'll get some done on it. I'll just have to knit on it, you know. But this is what I've got so far. I'm still not sure if I'll wear it. This might be still too fancy for him. It's a size 10, so 72 stitches. This is the colourway. I got it at Stitch Fest from, that's on the floor. Snuggly Stars yarn. Snuggly Stars yarn, and the colourway is 425 meters, and it's called Burst Pipe, and it's called Fabulous Sock Base. It's a fabulous sock base. 75.25. And then if you watched last time, you know I put a wee rainbow of colour on his toe. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I've wrapped it up anyway. My lovely friend Claire gave me this. It's in a wee care package she sent me, and I might add that too. It's blown out, it's so bright. But he might already be overwhelmed by this, so maybe he shouldn't. I don't know. So this, you may see this again, you may not. The other one's gone on the floor, but I'll get it later. We'll see. I just have lost my sock mojo, but as I say, I normally lose it about September time, so I've done well. This beautiful bag from Crafty Clegg's Creations. She's got some lovely, or had some lovely Christmassy winter related ones as well. So that's it. Oh, apart from what is in my handbag, this is in a wee mood bag. I've had this for years, since it's all gone light, and I love it. I got it originally as, like, you know, putting travel stuff in, but I use it now in my handbag because it's sort of fits in much better. And this is another mindfulness shawl. I haven't got much variation. This is a Sakami yarn. It's been in my stash forever. They did a yes no box, I think it was called, a couple of, well, maybe in lockdown, and you didn't know what was in it, and I got myself one, and this is one of the skeins that was in it. It's superwash fine merino, 400 meters fingering weight, made in Edinburgh, Sakami, and this is the yarn. It says Christmas to me. I feel it's Christmas, and it is knitting up really nicely. I think it's so mindless. I can sit and chat. I don't lose my place. And it's coming up lighter in the picture, it's a wee bit darker, and it's just gorgeous. I think it'd be beautiful with the wee picot, and that's it there. I do think it's very Christmassy. So there you go. That's just a perfect one when you go off socks, but you go to knit grip, and when I was over at Hannah's yesterday, Hannah and Cara's, I knit on that while we were chatting. And oh, Hannah is crocheting the most gorgeous Christmas blanket. Oh, I hope she podcasts and shows everybody. And she was just sitting chatting away, crocheting away this a lot. Well, she was on the border, but oh, it's gorgeous. So hopefully she'll podcast in Hannah's happy space and show you that. It'd be brilliant. Okay, that's it. If you're glad to know, that's it. Just a couple of other things that came in. One's a gift and one that I bought because I destashed yarn, so I bought more yarn, and I want to knit another Simon. I love them. I can't get enough of them. I could do the pattern now in my sleep, I think, and I blame Joe and Rachel entirely for this, because when they were going up to Yorkshire Yarn Fest, they stopped with this dyer and I fell in love. And this is what I got. This is from Mammy and Flora, or maybe Mammy and Flora, I'm going to say. And this colourway is Paddleboarding Le Liqui? I don't know what that is. All of her yarns are named after, and that is as bright as that. Real cobalt royal blue. And it is 75 blue face Leicester, 25 nylon adventure sock yarn, and it's 425 meters. And this one is so bright, it's blowing out. There's a wee bit of that colour in it. And this is the one I saw on their podcast, and it's my favourite sweet are the wee swizzle lollies. They're awful for your teeth. And if you're my age group, you'll have eaten those over the years. And this is Swizzles Merino 75 Merino 25 9. It's so soft. This is 400 meters. And she uses what 3 words? So this one's called Chilled Paradise Tadpoles, and this one's called Salt Shredding Irritive. So together I'm going to do this. But then I remembered I had this. I lost my mind. I absolutely lost my mind. This is from Botanical Yarn with the naps in it. I don't know what I was thinking. And so I might, that might be a better option. Keep that one for something else. So watch this space. Watch this space. I must be going into my pink era. There's several things here today that is pink. I'm not a pink girl, but wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be really fun? So we'll see. Watch this space. If I get, I just love having a Simon on my needles. It's just that and a Morris are my 2 favourites, I think. Can I say favourites? Of my girls, of my year, of my TMP year. I think because they're easy, I've done them before, they're so wearable, their style is so wearable. I'm coming to the end of the Twinset Purl year, and I'm never going to talk about them again. No, I'm joking. Rachel's got a gorgeous Bridgerton shawl coming out, I think, next month, and I'm sure they'll continue with their beautiful shawls, but we'll not be doing focusing on it next year. But yeah, oh, I love it, I really do. Anyway, I know some people, it's beige, 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 taupe, 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 but I love a bright, and yeah, it must be in my pink era. Who knows? Who knows? So, that, and last but not least, is a lovely gift for you. So you might want to watch. Came in another gorgeous box. I still, since I was a child, once that door knocks, or I hear the things being put, we have a wee box outside our house since lockdown days that the postman puts stuff in, and the dogs bark, you know, to let us know he's there, and I still get a wee whoo inside. Since I was a child, I've been like that. Even a letter, anything, I am chuffed to bits. And this was sent from Angela Makes NI. You can see her bits there, and she has a podcast, just a very young podcast, so go and check her if you like a nice Northern Irish accent. She's your girl. And her husband is very talented and has made some sock blockers on his 3D printer, and she sent me some. One for you, one for me. Maybe if I'm in my pink era, I should keep the pink ones. I might give both sets away because I have spoiled beyond measure. I have quite a few sock blockers, but we'll see. But that'll be later on in the year. And she sells these on her Etsy shop, which is Angela Makes NI. And you can buy just this and the individual bits that go with it. They just slip on. So nicely made, and it goes right up to, it's from, let me see what the size is. Goes from 35, the European size, what's 35, 36, a 5, is it, in UK sizes? 30, does it come with 3 or more? Have I hidden any more? Oh, it's hiding them. Oh, there's billions of them. So it goes right up to 46. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I haven't lost any more. There's another one. Keeps going. So look at this. All the attachments. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes up to 45 to 46. The size of that boy. From 35 to 36. So what would that be? Up to maybe a 13 from a 5. So she's got you. The only thing is, and she's looking into this, is it really is for 60 or 64 stitch count, because it would be it wouldn't, you know, not stretch them, but it wouldn't keep them taut. If you just want to lay them flat, this would be perfect. And I also mentioned to her that I would like a slightly taller one, but if you block your socks flat like that, they'd be fine. And as I say, you just that's them in. Great job. As I say, they're for sale on her Etsy shop, but I am also going to give some away in the coming weeks. So generous. And not just that. Oh, I think, did she send me, was it her or Natalie sent me a packet of licorice all sorts as well? So you're not getting those. Those are long gone. They're my favourites. This gorgeous wee sock bag. Look at that. Gorgeous. We sock pockets and everything inside. So that'll be coming, and handle, drawstring, that'll be coming in a giveaway too. And as I say, Angela makes NI, lovely wee label. Won't be able to see it, there you go. So check her out on Etsy or hold your fire and there'll be a giveaway. I always do a Christmas giveaway, and I always do a giveaway in December for you to choose somebody that you think would like a wee pick-me-up Christmas present. I love doing it. I've absolutely loved doing it. So I will have a really nice selection of yarn for that. I will show those on my next podcast actually. Because we'll be into December. Probably, yeah, we'll be into December. So it might not get there for Christmas if you're international, but it's something to look forward to. So be thinking, don't tell me just yet. Sent me an email. Wait to see what it is first before you think, to see if it would suit your friend. But every Christmas I have done a general Christmas giveaway because I'm so blessed and spoiled. And I always do a giveaway for you to nominate somebody who you think would just love a wee knitty pick-me-up, either for you to knit for them or for them to have a lovely yarny blessing at Christmas. I do keep it to UK for the yarny blessing because I like to give a good substantial prize, and that's not really going to work out internationally or I will be bankrupt. Right, enough. I think I've covered everything. No idea how long this is because I stopped and started, but anyway, whenever I say, oh, they're too long, everybody says, no, they're fine, so I'm taking your word for it. Anyway, that's all the yarny stuff. That's all the knitting chat. But if you've watched this podcast before, you know I always finish with a wee bit of something that I've been thinking about through the week or through the month that the Lord's put on my heart. If you don't know by now that I am a Christian, and I love the Lord with all my heart, that then I don't know, but I know if I look at my YouTube statistics, I know a lot of people don't watch this end bit, and that's fine. But maybe today you want to. It's very informal. There's no heavy religious stuff at all. If you know, you've watched before, you know I don't think of myself as religious. I think of myself as have strong faith, and I just want to share something silly maybe that's come to my mind, but hopefully it's thought-provoking. I'll stop talking and get on with it. Well, my husband, week before last, I think, spent the week in Ireland clearing out his dad's house. We lost his mum 18 months ago and then his dad in September, and his sister and him went over to start trying to clear out the house. And I'm sure, as you know, if you've done it before, it's both exhausting, exhilarating, brings closure, all of the above things. He came back absolutely exhausted, and but one of the things he brought back, there wasn't much in the, there was a lot of stuff in the house, but nothing worth, all went to the charity shop, etc. And because we live in England, it was silly to bring things back from Ireland for the sake of it. But he brought a lot of photographs back, and some of them he'll not keep, but just to let us see what he was like when he's a teenager and all the rest of it. One of the things he brought back was this. Do you recognise these two? This was found in his mum's house. Have I changed? That's my lovely husband. I hope there's not too much of a glare. That's me and my lovely husband on our wedding day. Oh, so in love. Oh, I have aged. Believe it or not, I had grey hair there. It was just dyed. And there's some, I thought it'd be fun to show you some of the, this was in his mum's house. This is my wedding dress. My mum made me my wedding dress. This is 18 years ago. There's, all the artistic photographs. We just made our own album at the time. That's my mum all dressed up and ready to go. Oh, I was so young and innocent, wasn't I? And I was just thinking when he brought it home and the kids were laughing and we were rolling our eyes because we had aged so much. And honestly, we made our own album. And I don't know, it's in the roof space probably. I'm not a very sentimental person, which drives my mum up the walls. But I think because I've moved so many times and I have been in so many different places in the world, I just haven't held on to things. And maybe it's been good to be able to move on to the next thing. But we have a wedding album somewhere, but I haven't looked at it in years. But as I say, we married 18 years ago, so it was fun to look through. I can't remember a lot about the day. It's true what they say, it goes in a flash. So it was nice to browse through the album, but so much has changed. My goodness, we look different. Dear me.
We looked different. My hair was grey, as I say, but it was dyed. My husband always reminds me that he had hair before we married. He's very bald now. Some of our guests have passed away or we have lost touch with them. We met and married in 10 months when we were 34 and 39. We had our first child after 18 months and our second 18 months after that. So we have changed and grown while we've been married. We said vows in church on our wedding day that we truly meant. But we always joke that we're waiting for the in health and the for richer parts of our wedding vows to kick in. It definitely hasn't always been easy what marriage is. We have made some pretty big life decisions and changes and gone through some scary health issues over the years too. We often have different opinions on things and maybe some heated discussions. We have quite different personalities and we came from very, very different backgrounds. However, one thing has never changed. There has always been a third person in our relationship. From day one, we have tried to put that person first and look to him for everything. We are so thankful that Jesus has always been the centre and guiding light in our lives. He brought us together and he has kept us together. It has obviously taken work on our part, and quite often it would have been easier to do things our way, or let's face it, my way, because I'm always right. Quite often it has only been when we look back that we saw his perfect timing and love in everything. We have changed massively over the 18 years, but Hebrews chapter 13 verse 8 reminds us that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today and forever. Sorry for the rustling. He never changes. We don't have a perfect marriage, especially since perimenopause has turned me into a completely different person. You can pray for Nigel. But we have a perfect Saviour who we can turn to anytime, any place, about anything. It's the human condition to want to control things and have things our way. But until we learn to surrender our will to his, we will continue to struggle. As Corrie ten Boom said, if you've never heard of Corrie ten Boom, Google her. What an amazing, amazing lady. As she said, never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. In hard and uncertain times, we have learned to frog. Now, us knitters understand that, but what we mean is frog stands for fully relying on God. I think I've mentioned it in a previous podcast. Fully relying on God. There's been times that if we didn't have God on our side, we would have not seen the wood for the trees. Proverbs 3 verse 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. But how do we do this? Day to day in the struggles of life, it's never easy. Hebrews 12 said, we do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in a place of honour beside God's throne. We have a living, loving God. All I have said applies whether you're in a relationship or not. Maybe you're listening to me and saying, it's all right for you, Ruth, you're married. Still rough sometimes. But even if you're not in a relationship, maybe your husband's passed away, maybe you've never got married. We're told numerous times in God's word that he will never leave us or forsake us. One verse I have held very close over the years is Isaiah 41 verse 10. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. You know, for years I've had this text on this saying on my windowsill, and I did a wee thing years ago about what was on my windowsill. There was a craze going around what was on my bookshelf or what was on my shelf, and this is what I have. If you can see it, I've had this. I see this every day. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. And I look at that every day, and it's a lovely reminder of that God is with me. And Guy Penrod wrote this song, and you know I love my hymns and my songs, but it's God sent his son, they called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He bled and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Saviour lives. This is my favourite. But because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future. And if you're singing that, you should normally sing, because I know he holds the future. And life is worth the living just because he lives. How sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy they give. But greater still the calm assurance this child can face uncertain days because he lives. Then one day I'll cross the river and I'll fight life's final war with pain. And then as death gives way to victory, I'll see the lights of glory and I'll know he reigns. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future and life is worth the living just because he lives. So no matter what life is throwing at you just now, hold on. Remember 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7 says, we walk by faith, not by sight. So even when we can't see what the future holds, or even today, God knows and God cares. And remember what Corrie ten Boom said, never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. So if you're heading into an unknown future, put it into God's hands. I'm not saying it'll be easier. I'm not saying it'll all get better all of a sudden. But if you put your life into God's hands, he knows and he cares and he knows better than us what the future is going to have. I'm so glad when I look back at this album of memories that I didn't know what 18 years would hold. I'm glad I didn't know the things that would hit us, the things that would maybe throw us off track. I'm glad I didn't know the trials, but thankfully there's been many lovely times too. But through it all, we have put our hands and we have put our lives into God's hands, and I really trust today that you'll do that too. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a really long one again. Hey ho, hopefully I'll get back to you sooner next time so it won't be as long. Famous last words. Do get in touch if you want to. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like, please thumbs up as it gets out to more people. I will see you soon with hopefully all that colour work done. I hope that Kay will get in touch so I can get that parcel away to you, and have your thinking caps on about, if you're in the UK, about somebody that you'd like to bless with a wee nitty blessing. Right, I'm really waffling now. I'm going to say goodbye and God bless and go off and block this jumper. All right, till I see you again. Bye, God bless.